students are using, and every day we are bombarded with so many apps. So are you a user of an app or are you a developer of an app? That's the whole point. So I'm Usha from the University of Technology, me, and I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land. And I also acknowledge the support and friendship that I get from the colleagues from UTS. And also since morning when I'm listening to so many powerful talks and expressions of concern or anxiety or doubt or whatever. So I feel that I'm in a group of my relatives. So it feels like a family, all wondering about a common problem, or maybe I shouldn't say the problem sounds negative, but an issue, and we all want to go home with some practical suggestions and some take-home messages and some hints. So here I am. Please pardon me if some of the things sound like they're duplicated since morning, but I didn't manage to actually update my slides, so I just kept them as they are. But I might skip some content where I think there's no need to further elaborate. So first of all, thank you to Don, because the title, Technology and Maths and Stats, is really thought-provoking. So I was thinking, what should I talk here? This is always a place that I want to come and mainly listen to people rather than talk. So there is a bit of an abstract, and I, as a tutor and coordinator for some subject and maybe lecturer from some other, I try to experiment, within the boundaries that I'm confined to. So recently, this is the post-COVID thing, but maybe it was there before also. So as I was observing the students in my classrooms, especially the tutorial classroom sizes of 35 to 40, before it used to be 22. Now the numbers are increasing. I could somewhat separate them into two classes. So the people who are sitting with a mobile phone right from the beginning to the end, and as I'm talking, as I'm doing one example, they're actually Googling about the same thing, similar thing. So as they listen to the keywords, they will Google about it, and then they are looking at a similar example. So even though one question is done on the board, then they are still Googling. And then when they come to the second one, then I say, oh, did you want to copy it, or did you want to take a picture? Just to encourage them a little bit. Then they say, oh, no, actually I have to, I haven't gotten time to listen to the lecture material, because now you all agree that, there are no more lectures. It's self-guided learning, so-called self-guided learning. And I cannot still understand completely how it works for a subject like math. So how they can guide themselves through a process of partial derivatives, the process of finding partial derivatives, or what is the fun side of it, or what is the serious side of it, and what is the implication, and what is the how deep it can go, or what is the calculation, all these things. So they haven't done that part. They haven't watched the video. It is only watching. At least even that one, some of them, again, I should not generalize. That's what I was thinking. Since morning, I was thinking I should not generalize. There are some very spectacular students that we come across, and we are thankful that they make our day. So they are the ones that I call developers. And sometimes even in the class, I tell them, oh, you look like a developer because you're asking these interesting questions, and you seem to have done a lot of homework before coming here. So I really want to compliment them. for the preparation that they have done to come to the tutorial. And then after this video watching, they are also supposed to do a workshop, and that's also online, where they get to see more of the examples. And so the physical person or the physical environment that they can enter into is the tutorial room. So, and they're seeing me, and that's the first time that they might be inclined to put pen on the paper, and then we go around. And now, as you notice, we are suggested to follow new ways in conducting the tutorials. This is at, I think, two universities that I taught. I think, we are asked, don't teach them theorems in the tutorial, but let them do the things and encourage group. And this is a bit of a difficulty for me. What should I do in terms of group work? Okay. Oh, all those people at that table, please go and, take up one of the whiteboards, and you go to the other one. And this is the pen, take it. And then what do I do here? But of course, go from one to the other. And some of you might have noticed, yes, the goals are very good, because we want them to have a communication among themselves and talk maths and write maths, and of course being physical rather than in a very solo situation to brood about their own inadequacies of preparation or whatever. So when they are there, okay, take the best out of this 1 hour of tutorial or whatever. And then, of course, we also want, we have bigger things. Okay, we want to foster friendships among them, and we want them to have deeper connections with the subject. And also we want them to do teamwork. So there are so many goals that are expected from that 1 hour tutorial. But here is the student who is, he or she is searching through the canvas or whatever that learning management system is. So they're searching for that relevant page to look at. But then again, so they could be the users. So they came here to know a technique and then use and then get it done with. So probably like some engineers. Again, there could be other groups as well. And you might have noticed that there are times when there is also a serious learner whom you come across. And so that person, he or she, has come with full notes. So this could be very traditional learning method that this person employed. So full notes and color coding and a proper calculator and a pen that is writing and a pencil, eraser, and then no phone nearby. And then this person is all really, really into that tutorial sheet. And then maybe that person might have done already half, or at least started to work on them. And then that person is there to ask you, like, how do I resolve this? Or I have done this, but is there a better method? So how can I cater to such person with such attitude? That is my dilemma. Now, of course, this is again, you all have, heard of these contrasting things between users and developers, the groups. So, I mean, I don't wish to read through this list, but the users are, I mean, there's nothing wrong. They look for similar examples. Okay, so there's an example. So then I want to just take that, in a proper context and then apply to here and get away with that. I'm not going to talk, worry about, what is the necessity of having a partial differential equation, or like, who has gone to the trouble of finding that method, or, the history or what, they're not interested. And if I go and try to give them a little lecture, they say, really, really, I'm not interested. Can you do this or not? Nowadays, there is also a bit of a rudeness in some students, again, not all. So they say, can you do this or not? Can you tell me? Okay, don't tell me all that background, please. It's like that. Okay, that's the one-to-one case. And we are not standing there to lecture into the tutorial, even though I really want to. That's that's my hobby, but gone are those days. And formal writing, forget. There's no formal writing. Mostly, and they write something, and of course, most of you have marked exams. So, like on the day that you have marked about 100, you don't feel like having dinner because you have seen some atrocious writing, and then you have to give marks for whatever is like whether they follow the rubric or not. I mean, when is the last time that we are insisting on a proper mathematical writing? Like we are unable to, and I don't want to blame the COVID for everything. The developers, the one thing that I like about, of course, we like many things about developers, but in terms of this tutorial classroom and the characteristics of that group, the green group, they immediately take the pen, or sometimes even they bring their own pens. They say that, last time in my other tutorial class, the pen did not write. So, I'm bringing my own pen. So they are that proactive, and really they make your day. And when they are doing it, they take the leadership and they go there and they say, "Oh, you come on," and they take them, and then they will talk, and then they will discuss, and then they will laugh, and whatever it is. So that is also fostering their communication as well as making them the leaders. Now, the first bullet is what I like very much, because this is what I was told when I was small. And of course, now I'm not small anymore, but I thought that that should be the way. And I don't know why it can't be. A piece of mathematics, including symbols, should be capable of being read aloud as a connected piece of English prose. And how many times can we see a writing where there is no noun, there is no pronoun, there is this nothing? And so what is happening there? So you say x plus 3, and then in the next line, something else. So very unconnected sequence of steps. And logic means, I never, logic is not part of my curriculum. I didn't read, but I thought that where is maths without logic? So when I use the words like syntactics or semantics, then they say, actually this person is talking some foreign language. And then I don't know where they will send the email about me. So sometimes I have to protect my job as well. So I'm in a dilemma. Okay, so that is remaining. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the experiment that I did was I know that there are the support centers like Maths and Science Studies Center and MESH and all these, where we are encouraging students to drop in and learn and experiment or practice, and then get that extra confidence to face the exam or whatever. But I'm just not very clear about what type of opportunities or facilities that we are providing to the people who have that extraordinary zeal to learn. I won't say they're extraordinary people or they have extraordinary brains, but there are people that we are coming across. So, in the universities, what are we, how are we to support them? Like how much more can we support? And usually at the end of every tutorial, I give my email ID, and because I really want to talk to them, I want to know what is going on in their brain structure. Like, what is it that I want them to learn? Is it the thing that they are learning, or is it that they believe that they are learning? So, and I really want to make that extra connection to the students, because there are some, highly brilliant students out there. And we have here support system for these people. And of course, this is another thing that I wanted to share. The students who are users, when they finish a question, we can see that they finished, but They say, I think I have done it, but I don't know whether it is right or wrong. So this is what I always tell them. Like, if you have followed the logical steps, then you should not have that confusion. So you are confident that from from the first sentence to the last sentence that you have written, if you have followed your logic, then that should be the correct thing that you have done. So if you don't have that confidence, like tomorrow we are sending you to the workplace. So, to whom will you be asking, or what do they think of us? Sometimes I play a bit of an emotional game on them. So, anyway, these are again the issues that I noticed with users, and then with COVID, there is some observation that surface learning is happening more than the deep learning. But then again, these are all problems. Okay, we are talking of problems more. Proofs, if I want to teach a proof, even for a simple thing like a commutative principle in vectors, okay, a bar plus b bar equal to b bar plus a bar. And for simple steps, it's fun to tell them, like, you can do it. But then they say, why do I need a proof? A bar plus b bar should be b bar plus a bar. So who told you that? There are systems where that commutativity does not work. So, like, how can we impress upon them? So these are my questions. So when I separated them, then I'm at a stage where I think the marks are finalized, the results are done, but of course I marked only one question out of the 4. So I want to see, how they might have fared with the other questions and what was their score, because I also know that these people who are the developers, there could be less chance of their cheating. I mean, it is again my assumption. You might agree or you may not agree. So unfortunately, sometimes when you see a very picture perfect answer, then you may not believe, because you have seen them face to face, how they are faring in the classroom. So again, it is like, I'm confused, but at the same time, happy that I'm in the group of very learned people like you all. So I found that this forum is a place where I could share some of my thoughts. So what are the avenues for the identification and for the growth of the developers? So what are the support systems that we are providing them? I mean, like, in large classes especially. So where is it? Of course, where there was availability to have the lectures in the big halls accommodating students, I knew that there could be about 40 or 50 students, but they are the ones that turned up every week, and they are the ones that were asking questions and taking notes and all that. Okay, people who don't come, they don't come. That's different. But I think that facility was stripped for them. That's what I feel. So are there any reward structures? Okay, yes, someone got 95 out of 100 in a genuine attempt in an exam. Are there any rewards available? Scholarships? Again, this is just a sequence of things of my thoughts. Okay, so all wishful thinking sometimes. So we should learn to avoid fallacies in logic and be able to construct a sequence of arguments in solving. So these are all in our wishes. Every one of us wish these things. Okay, so we want students to have that type of mentality when they are going from our hands to the outside world. And of course, I asked a simple question like, what do you think? When you are pressing sign, 42 and sign, the calculator works in a different way. So sign 42. So where is the answer coming from? And why do you believe what the calculator is giving? So then very few people, again, this very few, very many, these are all like, they, I don't want to quantify them. I was also reading through some books, but sorry, I didn't finish to put all the references. But I would really like to do a bit more on this, work on this, and get some more literature to help me to sort out. Thank you so much for